So this is our second class. So last time we have seen how to prepare training plan, what are its requirement, what resources we have to gather, and anything you would like to add or ask anything, because that is the basic. When we manage training, so how to make training plan. See, resources and all, they depend type of training you are doing. So now instructional strategy, when we start now new topic, so we learn it. You relate this to my last topic. Okay. So anything you would like to know or add, because I don't treat a diploma student as student, they are professionals. Okay, so we are also learning. And one disclaimer, see, now this is an academic course linked to a practical part of this implementation part. We can teach anything and everything, but your testing and examination will be from the scope. We have been given some topic, there's a scope, so we have to adhere to that. Okay. That's why sometimes we can discuss whatever it is that you want, we can discuss. But main purpose of this course is to prepare you for the examination also. And examination is, it carries, each paper will have two parts, one theory and also practical. In practical part, you will have case study, which we call it validation. When I tell you, that is the validation in training hall, validation. So case study and everything. So I will tell you when instruction is how to make the design brief, how to make. I will give you, of course, design of training is different subject. Now we are going for instructional strategy, because when transfer of knowledge, I was talking of type of knowledge, type of skill. So we have various type of category of knowledge and skills also. That's why I have started last time productive and reproductive. Like switching on and off computer, you need not to have special skills. It is whether you are doing or Kavita ji doing, I am doing, we all will switch on, switch off same way. When I make presentation, if we are making, I will make different way, and Dr. Chitra will make different way. Sometimes he may use pink color, I may use that, like my background paper is green because green is, and somebody would like, okay, video, that there is a creativity that we will call productive. Reproductive activities where we do same thing in the same way again and again. But productive, we use our creativity. So that is the, so if you don't have anything on the last session, then I will go directly to our topic. And so welcome once again. Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
And my voice is clear. And I am not having,
Yes, sir.
I have throat problem. I am keeping one water also. So don't worry, that we can handle. So today's topic is, I am not able. You are able to see slides?
Yes, sir, we are.
Yes, sir.
Now it is coming. Why I am not? But I am not able to see when I am. Anyway, you can see, okay, I don't need to see. I can come out of this. So now, last time we have seen recap, and one thing was there, systematic approach. So first, training is not for consuming hour, consuming budget, but it is for enhancement of performance. And it is not, organization is lacking. There are occasion of training. Like when change in technology, change in people, change in process, change in prevention of sexual harassment came, we were doing training across the board. Okay. For government organization, Right to Information Act came. Okay. The new law is coming, everything. That time, why so enhancement of performance means then we carry out training need identification, where we carry out organizational analysis, job analysis, task analysis, and then we design. Okay, simulate what we have desired, then we implement, deliver, and we carry out evaluation and going. It is circulation motion. So when we get objective, where this is the process. This you have to keep in mind, and everything is related. You can add some more, like if for designing, we can have some activity implementation. I told you like pre-training, post-training, and during training. Now, last time we left at how will you prepare training? Because I also shown you how to prepare trainees, है ना? For solution problem.
Sir, are we on module 2?
एक मिनट, just a minute. Stop share. I will. So now, how will you prepare trainings? Like in one flow chart I have shown you. Yeah, we have to prepare trainings. Either it is a role of trainers or training managers. So what action will you take on that? How we prepare the trainings? Like we can have coaching, counseling. We can give this distance learning material to them, like this. So what things you will see? How we can prepare trainings? Anything, any input? I don't want to give you more stress.
Sir, may I know on which module we are? What we are?
We are on the first module only because this is instructional design, instructional strategy. First chapter only.
So we begin with TNI.
Pardon? Say again.
We begin with TNI and then TNA, and we design the training objectives,
Yes.
outcomes.
This-
Then we
last-
go about.
Yes, thank you very much. Last time we have seen now there are certain activities which are before training, certain activity during training, and one part is preparation of trainees. Because all training, what is the objective? Bringing everybody at par in their perception and understanding. So first we have to clarify the learning objective. Okay. So some problem is there. I am not able to, now I think. Okay, now I go. So clarify learning objective. What is the objective? Clarify developmental objective. Then what is the venue, what is travel plan, this thing, and what is expected from them. So preparation of training, sometimes in the beginning you can do, if they have not been, this has not been done in the organization, you can do at the venue also. Okay. So normally we do it. And for bringing that at par, because if you conduct pre-training assessment, bringing at par, we may have coaching, counseling, mentoring before training of the training. Now, there's just a director. You are working as a director of a group of hotels and restaurants. You receive a complaint from a customer that she was not satisfied with the follow-up regarding their criticism of being in one of your hotel. Just read once. There are two questions I will ask, and you can raise hand, then I will ask. First question is, why was the complaint made? Can you raise hand? I will ask that person. Yes. Just boliye.
The complaint was raised because the customer was not satisfied and he was overcharged.
He was overcharged. So complaint is about overcharge. Eh?
Yes, sir.
Kavita ji?
So the whole complaint is regarding the customer being not satisfied with the follow-up.
Yes. The complaint is not, of course it is, but customer is not satisfied with the follow-up. So here complaint is follow-up. Overcharging is also there, but now present complaint is about follow-up. Do you think there is a training need for this?
Certainly, sir.
Certainly. If it is accuracy, you have to look at the number of complaints and what type of complaints or number is more. Then you can see whether. So that is issue. What is the performance problem? Now I am giving, this is a clear this thing. Now there are knowledge, skill, and attitude. Which is the most difficult?
Attitude.
Attitude.
Attitude. And second, so most difficult, most easy is the knowledge. Most difficult is the. Now, what is knowledge? So I am not giving, anybody can read. Who will read? Dr. Prem ji, but पढ़ेंगे आप मेरे लिए थोड़ा मैं.
Sure, sir, sure.
Yes, please.
In the context of a training program, that part which is concerned with imparting specific information needed in order to perform a task or job. It is commonly linked with the development of skills and attitudes as the component parts of training objectives.
So knowledge is like imparting specific information. Now you, for imparting information you can have, because this is required, you are making strategy, instructional strategy. Instructional is one more thing. So one thing what we are imparting. So knowledge is imparted. Now coming knowledge, you know, imparting information, nothing. Now there is a category type of knowledge. Do you know what type of knowledge? How there are two types. First is fact that person can remember. So it idea that a person understands. Fact and ideas you have to narrate. Then it is further divided. Okay. So the fact a person can remember may be of two kinds. Remembering name, event, objects, or proper noun, or knowing what to do, procedure and all. So we may remember their names and all. And second is procedure. Second category, jo understanding. And understanding again has two parts: being able to define and using those principles to predict certain events. So we can say principles, fact. Now, I don't want to confuse you. You just remember this: facts, procedure, concept, and principles. Okay. So there are facts. Okay. Sun rises in east is a fact. My name is Yogesh. That is the fact. Procedures: how to conduct training, how to facilitate a session. Concept: development is a concept, education is a concept, training is a concept. Okay. Principles: so principles also there's a set of procedures and principles. When you have a like boiling of water by water boil, that comes fact also. So there are certain rules which are universally tested, and you can apply them. If you take in, like we have science and art, the principles of science are universally applicable, whereas in art like social science it's not the case. And next, coming to why, and then how you can, when we make strategy, that time you have to remember whether you are teaching fact, procedure, or concept or principle. Then we have skills. Now, as rightly read out by Dr. Prey, knowledge is an set of information you are giving, imparting, passing from yourself to maybe. But skill is certain something. So it is a organized and coordinated pattern of mental or physical activity in relation to an object, person, event, or display of information. So skill is backed by information. Okay. But it is coordinated pattern of mental or physical activity relation. So like we normally give triple H, we have head, heart, and hand. So hand part is skill. Okay. And the brain skill may be described as perceptual, motor when it's related to body part, manual, intellectual, social, and according to the context of the most important aspect of the skill pattern. So then there is some division also. So, yes, Kavita ji, please.
So from the examination point of view, are we required to memorize these definitions?
No. This is not, examination will not. I am just setting this.
For our understanding. Okay.
Understand. And you will have, for your, see, when we make the strategy for training or learning, okay, what we are training, okay, what? So those, even though skill word is coming everywhere, but nowhere it is defined. So it is an additional, I am just setting ground for that. You need not to just see. Then productive and reproductive, I told you last time also, so I am not, but I have given definition here, you can read. Okay. So productive are the skill that are repeated.
Now,
Yes, reproductive are the repetitive, like repeatable tasks, routine tasks, and good morning and everything. Productive we use, you can do different way. You can use your creativity. And I have given certain example. You the significance kya hai? Why these are there? So knowledge of fact can be developed by training involving repetitive association of ideas and memorizing facts. Ka, no? What is my name? You, one or two times if we are meeting, you will come to know. Knowledge of practice, procedure. So by practice, by repeated developed by practice, by using performance aid or guided discovery. Like typing is there, a calculation,
Arnav,
income tax and
Arnav,
concept can be learned by example, non-examples, or by guided discovery. Principle can be learned by explanation and examples or maybe experimentation also. Experimentation we need. So that's why it is. Then skill ka bhi hai. All skill require practice. Okay. In each talent should can be followed. So we explain. Okay, then we demonstrate. Okay. Then they practice a review and consolidation. Okay. When we are taught, okay, wash your hand this way. And when Corona was there, we were putting even the sticker on the wash basin. Then we, so for reproductive skill, which are normal in nature or repetitive, in which what is done very little from occasion. So it is all same. But productive skill ke liye we need to practice and we need to train more explanation. No. Okay, these I have discussed. These are the facts. Name, objective, code number of ये fact है. And procedure में आप ये ले सकते हैं. Okay. If you need any explanation, I will tell you. Otherwise, you can read yourself. So, if principle, if you see the effect of price on supply and demand, these are the principles. What is the effect when price goes, the demand comes down? But there are certain exceptions. Metal expand when heated. These are the water boils and concept may difference between validation and evaluation of training. So validation is done for knowing how much he has learned. Evaluation may be cost and benefit against the objective. Then we have a categories of skill also. Skill may there are 4 types of skills. I have given this thing like thinking, acting, reacting, interacting. So we will take one example.
beta.
And you will get this PPT, so you can read. If there's any doubt, we can discuss. Now, productive preparation of agenda of meeting. So, how agenda should be worded and which agenda should be made. What comes on the top of which should be taken last. But calculating a sales price, if there's a formula or determining interest of house building, and these are reproductive. Acting. Acting may, if you are taking reproductive, producing new design or for a form. Okay. This is productive. Typing, it is same way, fax machine, proofreading, nothing.
Arnav,
Shilpi ji, can you please?
sorry.
नहीं, कोई नहीं. Then interact. So you can read, which if you read, like I will explain, which is the productive. Productive means it can be done differently by two persons. Reproductive means all will do same way. Okay, wearing welding goggles, you will also wear, I will also. Only thing is sometimes we only it differs on so reproductive way, what we will do, we will explain once, carry on. But productive way, we have to tell them procedure, how you can do best way. These are the things.
Sir, nahi samjha. Can you please go back?
Concept, which you tell me.
In general, sir, when you say something is productive and something is reproductive.
See, reproduct. If I tell you, switch on the light. Switch on the light. You have switch it. How will you go and just press the button downward? And there's no creativity is required. So these are the things like typing a letter. And typing a letter is given just typing. लेकिन ड्राइंग में आप क्रिएटिविटी देखें. रिप्रोडक्टिव थिंग इज वेदर यू आर डूइंग और आई एम डूइंग इट इज सेम वे. You cannot modify the way of doing. You see the anything in reproductive. Wearing of welding goggle, driving on the left side, wearing of helmet, displaying goods, goods in like displaying goods in the uh, store, or welcoming invitee as a host. We do, but productive may we have creativity. You can show your creativity. Like producing a new design of a form, acting में. Now you can design form like in skill development, we were making we have in ISTD, there's an assessment was going on for skill. The tailors who were illiterate for developing a question paper for them. Now we have not, okay, which is the needle. So we just given the needle का आपको picture बना दिया वहाँ पे, picture बना दिया. Same way drawing in form, you can have color scheme, you can font scheme, you can put picture. So productive things you need to practice more. There you can. That is the, and for trainer, you have to classify whether activity is productive or reproductive. So,
Okay, how do we relate that with reacting, sir?
pardon, say again.
We have another category, the skill category. We're looking at acting and reacting.
Yes, these are the skill. These are the skills. Thinking is the skill. Acting is the skill. Reacting, making decision based on need rather than a personal preferences. So I don't have personal preference. Somebody has told me. Okay, they are reacting. Interacting, supervising a working group. Now, method of supervision differs. The method of supervision, carrot or stick, you can take. Okay. But displaying goods and all, this thing. So don't put more emphasis. The productive is there, where you can show your creativity. Reproductive is where no creativity. It is only one way of doing the thing. One
Something standardized.
standardized. Like understood? Anybody else? Thinking में क्या है? Thinking, if you think preparing agenda, you have to think. Calculating a sales price, no more thinking. There are certain okay, this is the basic cost, taxes, and it is done. Like that. Now, causes of performance problem, that also you should see. So why this performance problem is there? First is environmental problem. Environmental problem is a problem which is because of the systems and procedure deficiency. That is the organizational problem, not a problem of will and all. Okay. Not a problem of will. Environmental problem, like I'll give you one exercise. Okay. If there's a overcrowding in the hospital and beds are not there, building is not there, training cannot do. So that is the environmental problem. If the procedures are not there, it is not a problem of. Then comes motivational problem. Motivational means the attitude of the people, will of the people. Everything is they do not want to do. So there also you have problem training, but training will always not. Now behavioral problem. Behavioral, when you take in training, sir, behavior means it is the knowledge, skill, and attitude. Okay. When they lack, either they lack in knowledge, either or skill or in attitude, there is a training need. So we'll understand this thing with the one case study. Like there was one organization, ISO 9001 certified. And when we say that there are processes which are linked to certain objective, okay. So there was no training policy or training manual in that. There was no proper identification of training need. And it was identified training needs, which were critical to the operation efficiency of the organization, were not incorporated in training. Like training needs, it is reflecting, but not linked, not reflected in the training calendar. And in few cases, training was given to the people on the topic which they were not engaged in. Okay. People who were engaged, they were not given training. Now, this sometimes happens. Okay. Then in that case, what you can say? There are, because this cause a performance, there exists, if you take here performance problem, there exists performance problem in the training and development division of human resource management and administration. Okay. Now this is the problem. The problem is in the HRA. Now cause is the given training program is not, training calendar is not there, program training need identification is not carried out properly, leading to improper input to the process of training. Linkages between identified training need and training calendar is missing because there has to be, and training was provided to person who were neither identified nor it was required for their present or future job. So now this is a loss, like loss of efforts. Now, if you take this example, okay. Now here O is the organizational level, J job level, task level, environmental, motivational, behavioral, training intervention, non-training intervention. What is job and task? What is the relation of job and task?
A job is made up of multiple tasks.
Yes, thank you very much. Because there are, I know there are people from science, there are people from other branches also.
Sir, again, as I see,
See, you will not find these contents in the book, but you will find instructional strategy. For that, I am giving you additional input. Okay. So, organizational level means job. What is that? Like, if you all go to hotel, there's a job called a roti making, chapati making. Okay. Chapati making, if you break down in the task, there may be kneading of flour, and आटे को जो है rolling or chapati, baking or chapati, then storing or chapati. Now, if there's a problem with the guy who is baking the chapati, जो सेकने वाला है, तो kneading वाले को training देने का जरूरत है, इसलिए हम organizational, job level and task level ये करते हैं. Now, training policy and training manual are not available. So it is an organizational problem and it is an environmental problem and non-training intervention, because training will not help in this area. Those who are from non-management background and also science background, they can understand, because this is a yes, Kavita ji.
so when we're looking at the first thing, the problem of, non-existent training policy and manual. So maybe it's a problem of a skill issue where somebody is not skilled enough to design a policy or create a manual and propose it to the organization. Maybe some intervention can help over there. What do you feel, sir?
Then a training intervention, non-ability of training, that availability of training, training manual and policy is a top management job. We'll come back, okay? But so top management making it, when it is coming, wrong making, and then we can come. But it is not available, so we'll take, it can come. What you say is coming when it comes to question of making. If it is wrong also, not relevant, appropriate, not amended, that time it will come. Training need analysis is not proper. So here also organization, now it is coming in the behavioral, because it is reflecting on the competency of people. If you link this to competency, definitely you can put. So you can argue with that. Critical training need not included in the calendar. There also it is the job level because that guy fit. Why training need analysis? Because training need analysis is conducted on the organizational level. That's why. But training calendar is made in the HR. That's why it is in the job. And it is a behavioral and training intervention. Training implementation is not as per identity. There also, because problem lies in the HR department and behavioral, they need to be trained and training. This rightly agree with Kavita ji, because it can come. If you can debate, it is a debate. There are certain points which can be organized at job level, but definitely not the task. So it can be there. So you have to see as a trainer, you have to see whether it is organized all over the, like when the POS Act came, we did a program for all people, awareness program is done for all. But for job level, there the people of the member of internal committee, they are job level, they are coming, and different training intervention is there. Now, when it comes to performance related issue, so inability of CEO to provide appropriate training calendar, this I am saying that's why it was taken. because it has gone to CO. Like this, you can no action is evident on the part of training division to appreciate and incorporate departmental lead and the organization level TNA document that coming to behavioral. So motivational, there will not be any training need and training intervention when it comes to motivational and all. Like that, we have to carry out for making our learning intervention. Now, what is strategy? Any idea about strategy? See, there's a plan.
Planned way to reach the desired result.
There's a plan, there's a strategy. So there's a difference between strategy and plan. Okay. So now this was the ground I was setting why we should consider what are the things, whether it's environmental motivation. There are other aspects also when we make strategy, because there are certain internal, external factors. So strategy is a long-term, high-level plan to accomplish organizational goal. Long-term planning may be short-term, using available resource. So resources are there. Involve planning and doing what is to be accomplished goal and decide utilization of resources. So we have resource, we have environment. Okay. So considering those, like if you are conducting outbound training and on-job training, do you think same strategy will be there for both?
No.
No. Because it depends what are the resources are there, what environment we are in, and we need strategy for corporate training also. Then what is the corporate training? These are the action. I'm not going to fixation of personal problem, training need identification, design and development, successful implementation, evaluation and validation, transfer, facilitation or transfer of learning, which is after the training, trainer to formulate strategy to ensure effective transfer of learning. Ultimate goal is transfer of learning, and hence instructional design strategies are important. So these are the things. So when we say process, there is a successive this you know, so I will not because it has been. The intangible assets, why I have taken second, because skills. When you say human resource, we call it human resource is not head count. It is the sum total of skills and attitude, knowledge, KSA. If you need 5 accounts officers, they're not person, they should know accounting procedures. Okay. So there is value of experience, loyalty, knowledge, and attributes. So output of training is intangible enhancement of intangible capability of human resource, which is the value of experience, loyalty, knowledge, and training is to be related to that. When you make that strategy, there are goals. What are the goals? Not only skills, but their experience, their loyalty, it should also. Now coming, this is the most important part. Every time you have one question. Even though last session examination, there was a question on before training, in training, and after training. But before that, instructional strategy, I will, we are there in the one case study. How many are there? There are, okay, 28. One case study I will give on, just don't think, just take out what is the, which are the topic on which we can conduct training. Okay. And, just a minute. And whether they fall in environmental or motivational or
Behavioral.
behavioral. So you have to just see, just categorize them. It will help you. Just we'll not put this study. Okay. Reading is required. It requires 3 minutes. Or what I will do, I will do because it is a lengthy lengthy case study. So we don't want. We'll take first 4 paragraphs. And this is a very interesting case study. Who will read? Dr. Shipraji?
Yes, sir, sure.
Please. You read first 2 paragraphs and second 2 paragraphs, second, fourth, and third and fourth, Kavita ji, if possible.
Sure, sir. So hospitals in a state, a case study. The study of district hospitals in our state revealed a large number of performance problems for district hospitals, like the number of inpatients far exceeding the number of beds, absence of inventory control, non-working of machines, equipment, inadequate information, data support, poor records and personnel management, non-existence of office procedure, no proper accounting system, sanitation and cleanliness problem, underutilized of computer facilities, etc. In fact, it appears to be a total crisis management only.
Okay.
So, second, Malabi.
हाँ, second, आप एक
Okay. In view of the overcrowding or the hospital of the hospital, there is no space for movement of patients, nurses or doctors. The authorities are unable to provide proper meals to all the patients. The sanitary conditions are poor. The beds are not changed regularly. The toilets are stinking. There is no cleanliness and there is always shortage of essential medicines.
I request you take a screenshot of these two paragraphs. Okay,
Sir, taken.
taken. Then third and fourth paragraph, Kavita ji.
Sure, sir. There are various causes for the state of affairs. The most important cause is the overcrowding. The number of patients seeking admission in the hospital is more than double the number of beds allotted to it. The budgetary provisions are inadequate. A limit of 50 paise for medicines per outpatient is a constraint on the effective functioning of the district hospital. The budget allocation for the supply of medicines is very much insufficient. The supply of X-ray films and medicines is made by the State Directorate of Health, and as such, timely arrival of the same cannot be ensured for lack of proper management information system, that is MIS. The store is having medicines, chemicals, dressing equipment, and bedding or clothing. The CM and HO can make local purchases to the extent of 40%, and the balance is met by the supply from the directorate. Different registers are maintained for different categories in stores. However, the storekeeper, one post which is vacant for long, is not keeping a proper tab on the medicines expiring. No projections were attempted based on the past trends. This leads to a situation where there is shortage of some medicines and surplus of other medicines and items. The directorate is also not getting timely feedback for effective bulk purchasing.
Thank you. Shilpi ji, can you read fifth, sixth? Okay, second, you can take screenshot third and fourth, please. Screenshot. I will provide you when you are in room also. Now, Shilpi ji, you can read.
Yeah, sir. I'm
Just a minute, let me adjust 6, 7, and 8. But these are small paras, 6, 7, and 8. Okay,
Fifth.
just a minute, let me adjust. 6, 7, and 8. Yes, yes.
The CM and HO, the superintendent, the BMOs have not been
See,
provided with.
he is the chief medical and health officer, CNM.
Okay. The chief medical and health
BMO is
officer.
block medical officer.
Okay. The superintendent, the BMOs, the block medical officer have not been provided with guidelines or manuals on preparation of budgets and various do's and don'ts on maintenance of accounts, registers, and records. In fact, there is a tacit admission from all of them without exception that they sign the papers put up before them by the account staff without fully realizing or appreciating the implications involved. The causes for this situation are not far to seek. The officers have never been exposed to fundamentals of accounting procedure and budgets. The MIS as such is totally lacking.
Okay. You are right. So what I will break you in 3 rooms. Now what you have to do, because the first and second para in one room, third and fourth in second room, and 6, 7, 8 in third room. What you have to do? You have to take out performance problem. What I think overcrowding is performance problem. Now you have to just categorize whether it is environmental, motivational, or behavioral. Okay. That categorization required. So maybe 3 to 4 minutes, because we do not, if you require, I will just drop this file in chat box, or otherwise you can take a screenshot and I will come and I will give you a screenshot in the room. Okay?
Just one question before we break out, sir. May I?
Yes.
So
Pardon?
I had just one question before we break out into the
Go
room.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So to me, environmental problem is kind of clear and categorized, but when it comes to motivational and behavioral, there seems to be some overlap.
Thank you. Motivationally, like cleaning of toilets.
Yeah, so what I mean to say is, my question is, if I'm motivated to do a particular task, it'll show up in my behavior in a certain way. If I'm not motivated enough, it'll show up as my behavior. There's no other way for you to gauge, right?
Yeah.
How do we distinguish?
Motivational, I will see. There is no appreciation. There is no like carrot and stick people. People are not motivated to do. Okay. Now there are two things. There is no reward and recognition. That is reward and recognition, appreciation. So what I am supposed to do, I will do 8 hours job and all things. So that is the motivational. Now, I will give you notes on that. You can read those notes. Then, if required, we can. And behavioral is the deficiency in knowledge, skill, and attitude.
Okay.
Motivational is only like reward, recognition, organizing policy, and environmental is on the like facilities are not available.
Got it, sir.
But now, like call.
Due to some network issue, I missed that. What are we supposed to do in the breakout room? If
I will
you
come.
can quickly-
I will come again and explain there. Okay. In breakout,
Okay, sir. Okay.
we are supposed to categorize. Like first and second paragraph back will go to room number 1. Third and fourth room number 2, and 6, 7, 8 will go to room number 3. Now, out of this, like in the first paragraph, you see overcrowding. Overcrowding is a performance problem. So whether it is an environmental, motivational, or behavioral problem, okay? Like Kavita ji, I am saying drivers are not writing logbook. Logbook is available. Training has been given, but they are not writing. It is a motivational problem. So can it be again training or maybe some disciplinary this thing is like we have many tools for that. Okay. So I will break the room. Okay. I am not giving you the names. The computer will take automatically. So don't blame me. And I will visit all the rooms. Please join the rooms.
Yes, sir. I am Dr. Prem from room number 1. We were discussing about the condition of hospital, which is there is a complete crisis. And we talked about dividing the entire problems into 3 groups. That is the environment problem, behavior problem, and motivation problem. So environment problem includes like a shortage of essential medicines, shortage of number of beds, shortage of employees. Whereas the behavioral problems like the employees are not having any idea about the account management. They do not have office procedures. They are unable to handle the computer facilities properly. So which can be improved through training methodologies if we employ some trainees. And if we talk about the motivation, certainly there is no motivation among the employees. That is the reason everything is going in the haphazard way. The sanitary condition is very bad. The beds are not changed regularly. So there can be 2 reasons. One is the management, they may not be providing adequate support. Second, the demotivation of the employees. So all the 3 conditions are there, but a structural condition cannot be, or the environmental condition cannot be improved through the training.
That is okay. See, that reason we are not asking, just categorization. Actually,
Yes, this is the categorization.
Performance problem means you have to have one sentence like here it is overcrowding. If you take overcrowding in hospital, so you can just say environmental problem.
Yes.
Or cleaning project. So good attempt. You will come to know later. I will share this case study, so we can take maybe when I am teaching some other, that time again we will discuss for the, now room number 2.
Yes, sir. This is Kavita Baghel, representing room number 2. So point 3 can be categorized purely as an environmental problem. And just to go a step further, we see that it's mainly for the management to act on it and solve these problems of budget allocation, increasing the number of beds that could really solve a lot of problems. So maybe the management team is not motivated enough to go ahead and solve these problems. So that's another angle of it. And point number 4, if you see, it occurs as a mix of motivational as well as behavioral problem, because the storekeeper is expected to keep a tab on the medicines that are expiring and the inventory management. He's not doing it properly. So it could be a motivational issue plus an attitude or a behavioral issue as well. This is what we felt as a group.
See, there is a no projections are attempted based on the past trends. And here it is forecasting and all. So you have to, it is a good attempt because given the time you have made. But if you read 2-3 times, you will come to know many problems in this. There is no projections are attempted based on past trend. Now past trend means in analytical skills also comes here, data management, and also you can also there. And that behavioral problems. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rule number 3, 6, 7, 8. Para.
So, sir, Shipra this side representing group number 3.
Dr. Sara, go ahead.
So, sir, the point number 6, which typically talks about the manuals and the budget allocation and all. So, so point number 6.
Yes, yes. Rani, you can go this point.
Yes, sir. So, sir, this typically talks about the budget and the guideline and manuals, do's and don'ts, and other things. So, this is typically the environmental issues, not in hands of the employees. And the point number 7, which is talking about the procedures, budget, MIS is lacking. So, that again is a part of the environment only. And point number 8, which talks about the existing manuals were, sorry sir, point number 7 is actually the behavioral, because they were having some idea on the MIS, but they were lacking the fundamental knowledge. So behavioral training could be given, imparted for point number 7. And the point number 8, which again talks about the manual, which was there and issued in 1950 and environmental.
Thank you. Now you have got this some idea on the how to categorize training and a performance problem. Now we cannot play a role as a trainer. Can you make rooms? You make this thing, or as a, so where it is like you can. I am sharing this. Then I will also give you some input on the next successive. Yes, Kavitaji, please.
Just to add to it, after going through point number 7, the last line especially, it says the MIS as such is totally lacking. So I think that line gives us a clue that, it's a system in place. So it's about environmental problem as well.
Correct. MIS is because they do not know accounting. MIS is budgeting procedure. They don't know. And this is the normal. If you go to any government hospital, this is the things happening. Yes, Sukrit ji, you want to say something?
I just want to ask a question. One is, there is an environmental issue, right? That we have not got the manuals or whatever be it. But not asking for it. If I have joined a job and not asking for it, do you think there is a behavior angle also to it? So can it be both environmental and behavioral both?
Both. It can be both. Like it can be both. It can. See, I am posting this. Maybe I will give to Gurvinder or I can post in chat. You just make a chart. I mean, we'll discuss in next two. Why it is that? Because when you are making a plan, it helps you what type of problem it is. And when you are going to an HR manager, that time you can discuss with them. See, I include my PPTs are I can make because there are many students who are not with management or background. So for them, there should be some input on this, okay, basic information. Now in structure, it is an approach, okay, which include methods and a technique, formulated training, choice of appropriate method based on the input. Now, whether trainer is required full time or not, what is the proximity needed with that? So all we'll discuss. Now, I have shown this. Now, there's a strategy when gap in the there means existing knowledge and skill, this, then there's a wider gap. So you have to make content expert. But in this case, their existing knowledge and skills are much higher. So the gap is very less. So you have to prepare that type of content and that type of strategy for transfer of knowledge. Now, in any case, now here 50-50, but this you can also have performance aid. And then last time I have discussed, but I am again recap I am doing. Now, performance aid, say we can develop them. So training time is reduced. This training time is reduced. So whether time, when there is a time problem. Now, mentoring, making participant ready for the training, you can do mentoring or coaching at the level of organization, or you can do then sending distance learning material, and the notes are there with you. Now classes are going, then conducting course, then taking feedback, and also giving them some tool for transfer or learning. So you can go project, you can give anything that is there. That. Now these are the things. When we make strategy, we make strategy or learning modalities, how learning will take, what should be a training environment, what type of things you need in that. Trainers presence, whether it is required full-time or part-time, or maybe proximity, are you going to have distance learning, like now you are online learning. Earlier we used to have different classes on chapters. Even though chapters were running online, it was up to you. You can join any class there. Interaction with the participant, interaction with the trainers, and cost consideration. On this, you have to make strategy. When there's a question comes, training strategy, so on this issue, then this can be time demand also, because time is also resource, and time is not unlimited, limited, and time is determined by the trainees, not the trainer, because they are learning. So their learning rate will decide. Now, learning modalities, what you will include? Motivation and facilitation of learning by matching trainers, training method, and learning style. So last time we have seen kinesthetic, audio, visual, all these things are there. So you have to match learning method with the learning style of the participant. Customization as per the need of individual learner may not be possible. Because when you do profiling, so you cannot go to lower or higher grade. Like somebody has on the point of 1 to 10 scale, if you map there, if somebody is having 10 and somebody is having, so you cannot go for. So we have to take mid part. Documentation of learning preferences of learners to make thoughtful choices of method by the facilitator. So you have to carry out some sort of testing. What type of learning preferences are there? According to that, you have to make transfer of learning, your session, your method and media you have to select. Now, training environment. See, there is called when the doctors are trained. In the doctor, you cannot or pilots are trained. Pilots are trained first on simulator, then they go on job under the pilot who is very expert. So OJT is the most ideal for learning the natural environment. OJT is conducted on the same desk or same work floor where the participants are trainers or trainees are working. Natural environment is not always desirable for learning. So you cannot have natural, you cannot conduct all the training in college. So secondary batch is simulated method. So we simulate, and both are not possible. Conduct a contrary environment where controlled environment you can have. Like doctors, they do on dummies, pilot do on simulators. We conduct many training like on industrial relation and like train the trainer, we conduct. So we don't take you in the training session, but in the control environment, participants become audience and you become trainer. So creating what type of environment that trainers presents. So not all training needs trainer. So positive, but when they are present, so it creates positive impact on learning and motivation because they observe, they give input, there are interval regular monitoring progress is possible. Then need guidance, correction, and modification if possible. Input for future program. Now, presence of whether you can conduct with one trainer or you need more trainers. If there is a highly interactive sessions are there, the trainees are to be monitored very closely, then you need more than one trainer also. Then proximity. Proximity means we have distance learning. Distance learning has an advantage. Now, this course is going in blended mode. Earlier, we were having physical classes and also online classes. It was going in distance learning. Delivery has its own because you can learn at your pace at any time. Freedom and flexibility is offered in the distance. Self-motivation and self-discipline. So all these questions you have to get whether always distance, can you teach all the topics in distance learning? And faulty design of material may lead to frustration and lower satisfaction, leading to ineffective training. So what is the, whether always it is required in physical form, or we can have online, or you can add online also, proximity में online virtual है. Lack of social interaction if it is not in physical. Now also we get social interaction. Then interaction. So what should be the level of interaction needed for that particular topic or particular training? So greater the interaction, more gain for participants. Greater the interaction, more gain for the participant, because they are like I interact with you, I teach you, I also learn from you. This can be. So that is the input for next topic, next class for opportunity to ask question, reflex and clarification when there are interaction. If we don't interact, then I can continue one way. You can also you can close your camera, you can sleep. In physical form also it happens, because a government organization where they conduct, I was deputed for one of the administrative vigilance when I was very young, and one guy, he was personal assistant to CEO, he wanted to go to Delhi, he was with me and he was sleeping on the first desk, and the trainer was saying, no, don't worry, don't give problem to him, he has paid for sleeping. So these are the things in distance mode, or maybe online when the camera, the trainer have no control. It is up to them whether they can ask question. I can immediate feedback is given. Like we have had one one case study. So I was giving immediate feedback was there, and allocation of time at design level. So what is the when you have that role play? When you conduct a role play, then there's a briefing time, role clarity if they can ask. Then there's a reading of script, and there's a playing of role, then debriefing. So you can give that allocate time at the design level itself, how much time this role play is going to take. Then that makes the, so for interaction, what you need? Participants, you have to prepare participant. You have to ask question, you have to, if there you can reflect, ask for clarification, give feedback, take feedback, allocation time for the at the design level in the bid. Then we have cost consideration, because no training is free. If trainers are not charging, even though trainees time is also booked against the training cost in some of the organization. Not all organizations book trainees time that trainees cost. If a guy gets like 30,000 per month, so he's getting 1,000 per day. And what is the cost? If we deputed for 4 hours, 500 cost is the 500 the trainees cost. So selection of appropriate resource. So there is we have to budget for it. So all resources. And what are the resources? Trainer is the resource, venue is the resource, media is the resource, method is the resource, time is the resource. Okay. Then an appropriate method. Method, there's a particular session is there. So we will learn what are because there are certain cognitive, non-cognitive, participatory, non-participatory. If there are 200 guys, you cannot have, you have the best method is the lecture method. Okay. Not negotiating on the learning object. The must part is the learning objective will be non-negotiable. You can reduce resource, you can use any method, but your training objective, learning objective should be able to be achieved. You must be able to time available versus method, which I already discussed with you. If you have 8 hours, why we cut short all activity in it? Because we have 90 minutes. And you need minimum 90 minutes to have one case study. So I cut the size, I also cut time for you. So when you are using that type of method in role, you cannot have role play in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. For role play minimum, you have to allot 1.5 hours. So whether you have that type of time, training method demanding more time, commitment are less preferred. So less preferred because you cannot, always time is limited. Negotiate with the stakeholder. And who are the stakeholder? Who can give you more time? You can have, we make agreement. Okay, we will cut short in lunchtime. Always we are overshooting. We'll have instead of 1 hour, we'll go for 40 minutes. So where we can negotiate, that is up. You cannot negotiate on learning objective, not compromising with the objective. Okay. Then there's one more concept on time, which is the mastery learning. And mastery, anybody knows mastery learning? Anybody has come across mastery learning?
No, sir.
Who has seen? Can you raise your hand? Mastery learning concept. Anybody has done any B.Ed? See, first I will explain what is mastery learning. Yes, expert of learning mere verbal meaning, but for as a trainer, you must know. In college or pedagogy, when we are in school or college, so they design syllabus and examination pattern. Only the people with this skill will be passing the examination. Like like diploma, you all are appearing. Okay, you all are appearing, but not all will pass. So there is a certain people will pass and they will give you 60%, 70%, 80%. But mastery learning concept is separate. And according to this, Carol, he said, all people are capable of learning. All people will learn, only the time will differ. So as a trainer, what is your role? To give that time and so making environment, your learning environment more conducive and input in that in such a way that all people are able to learn that particular subject or skill. In basic model, like we have college or they don't say all will pass. They say the particular, when people obtaining so many pass, 80, 60% they will pass. Or 50% they will pass, other will fail. But mastery learning say all will pass, all will attain the skill or knowledge or whatever. Only the time will differ. Reason being, like I am a slow learner, I will take more time. Where Dr. Shiprai or Kavitaji or Dr. Prem, they are fast learner, they will learn, like we have allocated 1 hour for that, they will learn in 40 minutes. And Upinder Singh ji will take 50 minutes, I will take 18 minutes, but I will also learn. That's why when we make strategy for transfer learning, we must keep in the mind, people differ in learning rate. Differential learning rate are there. It is our duty. And for that, break the task or break the learning topic in the different small unit. That's why there are unit in your this thing, paragraph in it. And then all will learn. What we do, we carry out testing, pre-training, and we जिसका score कम है उसको जिसका ज़्यादा उसके पास में बैठा देते. So we'll take this thing maybe step by step. PPT keeps us on track. The 3 charts, all will be answered. We design training for a group, who are likely to be employed by the client who is paying us, and purpose is to achieve success. So you cannot say they will not, you have to say they all will pass. And in training we say, don't worry, be competent, pay attention. Success for the people who will receive the training, for the client and for the trainer also. Because ultimately, when you get good feedback, the trainer also get credibility, satisfaction, and this will only happen if we design for success and minimize the possibility of failure. That's why instructional design is most important. Learning and training, we have seen training is a process. Learning I will read because I have not taught it. Process where individual acquire knowledge, skill, attitude through experience, reflection, and study and interaction. Okay. So there are interaction. There people also have experience. We say by doing, by emulation, by trial and error, by being told. All these things are there. Okay. But what is the people learn as individual with a unique and highly personal training process. But you cannot have an individual program. Their coaching and mentoring can be group or individual also. So there are, I will not, this is the Carol John, 1960. Learner aptitude are reflective of individual's learning rate. Instruction should focus more on the time required for different students to learn the same material. What he say? We focus different time. And he doesn't say somebody will not. So there's a constant with the basic model which all students are given same amount of time to learn, and the focus is on difference in ability. Difference. So there's a contrast. And a classical model in which all students are given same amount of time to learn and focus is on difference in ability. They say, okay, 1 year, 8 hours, lecture, all. But they will be different, 60%. Yes, Jaspreet ji, please.
Yes, sir. I just want to understand this mastery learning that if I'm designing a 8-hour program, so how I will, apply this? Can you give me an example?
Let me explain this, then I will definitely.
Okay.
In the beginning also, there was as a trainer what we should do, but many of us may not be knowing what is mastery. So what is mastery? Learning rate is equal to time spent on learning divided by time needed for learning. Okay. Suppose somebody has spent 10 hours, but requirement needed was 8 hours. Okay, now he has 120 is less, and somebody time allotted is 8 hours, somebody learns in 6 hours. So he has got greater learning rate. Okay. That is the difference. Now, they was based on the idea that all learner can have the potential to learn any instruction. All learner. Trainer should keep it in mind. But take different amount of time to do so. In contrast of classical model say, in 8 hours all will learn, but there is a different level of learning. Okay, different degree of learning. Now, what are the factors? Jaspreet ji, यहाँ पे आपका answer है. There are 2 factors. Perseverance of learner. And a learner कितना motivated है. Controlled by learner, how much time they spend on learning. Now, can you change this? That's why in the beginning my class, how to prepare. First slide, how to prepare learner for the training. Here learner can take place. Preparation of learner. Opportunity to learn can be given to him. Okay. Then next is time. Okay. Time. So perseverance of learner is here. Then opportunity to learn. Opportunity to learn is the time and environment we have to create. Opportunity to learn how trainers can give time and also a big reflection, asking question, judging his input, changing his seat if required, sending remedial notes in the evening if required. That is there. So now instructional variables such as opportunity to learn and the quality of instruction should be controlled by the instructor. This is the Jaspreet ji aapke liye ki how I can do. Instructional variables such as opportunity to learn and quality of instruction should be controlled by the instructor. Now, how we can do opportunity to learn? What is there? How to set environment? Can you change his sitting place? We normally do in the class. If you remember in class also somebody not okay, come in front. If it is somebody slow learner, you can put by the side of person who is the fast learner. Structure should be able to ensure that each learner can attain a specific objective. Okay, so That's why formative testing and the summative testing. So when you do formative testing, that time you can have some intervention. Keep on judging. You cannot have, if the audience is very large, may not be possible. That's why train the trainer, people don't take more than 50. Somebody may take 40. It is not possible to have. Mastery learning hold achievement constant. But they all will achieve. So it is a fix. And let the time learners spend in the pursuit of objective vary. So what vary is the time. But training where you have same amount, but you can give extended learning, remedial learning, and then some extra notes. And it may not be possible for us, but just please say extend the timing nahi hai, lekin uska substitute we can do. We can have, break our like topic in small. Okay. The mastery learning process that all learner can learn when provided appropriate learning condition in the classroom, in the training hall. And 80% learning in any group can attain complete mastery of the design and designated instructional objective. This is the research based, because this concept paper I will share, I will give you, you read it, then again we will discuss this, because it is not part of syllabus, but I am giving, because you must know as a trainer, mastery learning, how it is possible. 80% of learner can learn what is normally taught in the school if they are given enough time and appropriate instruction. So enough time is needed when you make the syllabus. So time is factor is there, time required to demonstrate mastery of the objective, and appropriate instruction. For that, break course in a small unit, identify objective for each unit. That's why we have, I have shown you enabling objective. We don't jump one. There's no 8-hour session here. We have 1.5 hour, 8 session, or 10 session. Each session has got some objective. The principle same, require learner to demonstrate mastery of objective of a unit before moving to next. So it is a step by step. That's what I was thinking. If you take formative assessment, that time you can judge, and next May you can take corrective action for your action. Now, basic principle, grades may be determined by actual number of objective part mastered, number of unit complete, proficiency level reached by the 80% expected. Any one combination of yes, Kavita ji.
So the way ISTD is, this course is conducted, giving a time span of 4 years for every learner based on their learning pace to complete this. Are we really following mastery learning?
See, mastery learning see, it is there are two aspects. One is the perseverance of the learners, how motivated you are. Second is the trainers. This course, because when I was president, 25,000 people registered, passed out was only 4,000 to 5,000, because there's a called project is there. You all will pass, don't worry, you all will pass. This is why I am saying this is the concept paper I am giving you. This is the additional reading for you. Because not many of us know this. This is taught to the people who are doing B.Ed or A. This is a psychological topic. But when I did train the trainer, my trainer taught me. That's why I am transferring to you long back. And it is not a new subject. I have plenty of material, which Jaspreet ji boliye please. I have plenty of material, but I don't want to overload with you. I will give you the other relevant thing. Yes, please.
So, sir, we can conclude this in this way, that it depends on learners also and the trainer also, and what trainer can do, that he or she can understand the objective better and divide the training into chunks, and then try to involve the learners more into it, and then give them time to learn, or like by involving more activities so that they can practice and learn.
Exactly. See, there are two things. One is on the part of learner. That's why first slide, why? Because I have taught you why I have included, because preparation of trainers is required. Preparation of trainers. can be done in the organization. But before coming to class, first your thing is that you have come by choice, right? Like you have joined this course by choice. Nobody has forced you, and you are paying fees. There's no reason that you lack in your efforts. But you have been putting efforts. So certain all guys have like all are motive. Like if you say adult learning, we are motivated to energize and motivate to so that to give more power or more motivation. You have to help them as a trainer. You have to help them, and that is our job. So instructional strategy is nothing. Matching your method to the learner's style. Instructional. There is a like trainers required or not, proximity, whether distance, mode, physical, online. Online is not written. I will write online also there. So strategy means available resource, type of learning, and your role. That you have to strategy. And strategy you will need. What are your contents? How much time you need to give? How much time you need to give? You are seeing like I give you case study right now. I gave you 3 minutes. It was not possible to do it 3 minutes. And learning may not. That's why I am giving you that. You read it again. We can. Otherwise, you can because you are an adult learner. You can do it in your own pace. But basic principle I told you. And as a trainer, not many organizations do training need analysis. When we say we want to conduct training for what communication is, what is the problem? They do not know problem. That time it is your role as a trainer. Then you ask question, certain question, make a question. How to prepare how to make out that type of learning style of the person. There's a questionnaire. You give that questionnaire, you will come to know what type of person he is. And in any case, when we make PPT, we are addressing all the issues. We are addressing people who are kinesthetic, visual, or so there are video, the people are talking there. Here, in instructional strategy, there is some diagnostic procedure you have to follow. So diagnose, then match your, what are the resources available with you, match with those things, what is there in the people organization. So all these things are there. And see, my PPT, it may be text heavy, but it is for the academic purpose. And when you read, you need not to pick up your book. It is suffice your program. So and any question, because we have to conclude time. Any question? I will give you transfer of learning concept paper also. These are concept paper, how best you can transfer. See, whenever we do trainer, I always give project, and when project is completed, then only certificate is given. Otherwise, participation certificate will be there. So as a trainer, that complete loop has to be completed completely. Transfer of learning is most important. It is not only people have enjoyed training, but they don't learning. And when learning is not there, transfer is not there. So even though when the program are conducted, sometimes visit your client after. I want to speak to my participant to check. Yeah. And next topic will be, I think, on budget, training budget. I will tell you kya hai. So you can read. 5th March, I don't know, because now a lot of pressure is there, a lot of programs are there. ISTD is conducted last Sunday. I was in, of course, I could reach, but I didn't want to take a risk because Mr. Amit Shah was there in Kolhapur. So I don't know whether I reach in time. For 3rd, 4th, I'm going to Mumbai. There's a regional conference of ISTD. Do join ISTD conferences. That is also, you will get a lot of learning opportunities there.
Will you please share the details, sir, of the Mumbai conference? Maybe you can join.
I will share. Mumbai, we have 3rd and 4th Mumbai conference is there. 24th and 25th Aurangabad is there. And Delhi guys can join. There's a 10th and 11th, especially Women's Day. That is, you can join. If you are male.
So the conference is regarding what?
This conference is in Mumbai conference is on skilling for tomorrow. Okay. And also Aurangabad conference, it is only for ISTD members. We will take you as a members. So, like learning, we are designed because trainers group should also have some sort of brainstorming. What is new for them? Okay. So if you are interested, I will tell diploma office to circulate in the group. Yeah, Mumbai,
Yes, sir, sure. We are.
who are from Mumbai? Mumbai, how many?
Mumbai. Sir, Delhi.
Sipaji, you are from Mumbai?
Sir, I'm from Delhi,
Achha,
NCR.
Delhi 10th, there is a conference is there, and the pricing for student is very, very low. And if you become volunteer, it is free for you. So don't worry, if you are interested, we'll make you volunteer. Don't worry, but you must come. Okay. So,
Thank you, sir.
and start reading from now itself, because it becomes very heavy. And bring out, when you look at your study material or by the notes provided by trainer by mistake, make out some question and pose those questions before we assemble in the class on the group.
And also the presentation that
Actually,
we
we
share.
didn't have introduction. Dr. Premji, aap kahan se?
Sir, I am from Chennai.
Oh, very good. And Sukrit ji?
Calcutta,
Say again?
Kolkata.
Kolkata. Aapka Som ji is Chaliye, we'll come to know about each other. Time is not there, but we can always, it is always pleasure. We have all over India basis. Calcutta, I'm coming in September. Calcutta chapter is hosting one conference.
Yeah, I am also a part of that
Okay.
committee.
Committee. Hey, I get invited. That's why sometimes you may face problem. I am not able to conduct on schedule because I travel a lot all over India. Not for this training is there, but I have lot of obligation of ISTD. So no problem.